Oh, yes, sir. I do have a question. I
Yes,
just
go ahead.
so the question was about for the research papers for
Yes.
this semester, would
Yeah.
there be presentations?
No, I'm not going to require a presentation. I have done that in the past using Zoom and so on, but it's some students are not able to do it and so on. So basically, the presentation aspect that may be mentioned on the syllabus, you don't have to worry about that. You just need to get the research paper to me, and that'll take care of that. Okay,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
sure. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, so what I want to do is go over the course website. Mostly, though, what I'm going to go over is the session topics to give you an idea of what the assignments are for you. Um, and the major part of your grade is the research paper. So I do want to cover that first. So I'm going to come down to number 9 here that describes the research paper for you. Okay. And so there are, I think, 17 chapters in your book. There may be in some of the editions 15. I'm not sure which editions you may be using, but if there's 15 chapters in the book, then you've got 15 chapters you're going to do a research paper about. If there's 17 chapters, then you're going to be doing 15 of the 17. You get to pick, okay? And so what you would do is you're going to choose one of the chapters to be our expert on. What that means is you're going to read through that chapter, and on that particular chapter, pick 3 of the topics that are covered in that chapter. So, for example, if you choose the chapter that deals with ethics, your assignment, if you're going to be the expert on that, is to pick 3 of the topics that are covered and deepen our meaning on those topics. Not just regurgitate back to me what's in the textbook. I know what's in there. But pick 3 of the topics it covers, do research on the internet on those topics, and then you can copy and paste some of that information off the web pages where you find it into your chapters for your book. I mean, for your paper, and the link where you got it. But also then add your own thoughts about this, why this is important. Give me some of your own words, interpretation about what it's about. Okay, and so and then on the other chapters, you're going to just pick one of the topics, and then do some more detailed research on that particular topic. Okay, so that's basically what the research paper would be. How long does it have to be? Well, I'm not looking for big long papers, but I would say each chapter should be most likely at least 1 page to give me a good idea. And then the chapter that has 3 topics probably should be 3 pages. And I'm talking about double spaced word, the typical 12 point Times Roman with margins that are usually 1 inch. So that would be basically what I'm describing. That's a basic description of your paper. And then the midterm is going to be another a good portion of your grade. And the midterm will be based on the glossary terms. So I've listed glossary terms. These are all in the back of each of your chapters. And you'll notice these are the ones I've selected. And there are going down to about 68 different terms that you need to know by memory. In other words, on the midterm, you're going to write these definitions out, handwrite them out, and then after you handwrite out the definitions from memory, you're going to take photographs of the paper on which you've written those, and you're going to then attach those photographs in an email to me. So I have your handwritten definitions that you swear you've done by memory. Now, how do I know you've done them by memory? Well, what I will be doing, you're going to put these definitions in your own words. I'm not expecting you to be able to give me the definition directly right out of the textbook word for word. but you should have the good gist of what each of these are. It's going to be in your own words. So that's one thing I'm looking for, not having copied it right out of the textbook. Now, if you memorized it and you got it word for word, I'm not going to take off from that. But I'm looking for, you kind of to paraphrase and give the gist of what the book is giving you. And then also, if I have any questions about, that you haven't done this from memory, and periodically I will give telephone calls and ask you to define a word for me or several of the phrases. So it's a spot check kind of a thing that I might do. So it's a pretty now what I would say is I would go ahead and pick 50 of these terms. You don't have to do all 68, and each term is going to be worth 2 points toward your grade. Okay, so that's your midterm exam. And then the other thing that's important is keeping track of your time. And let's take a look at the session topics here. Okay, and let's take a look at the assignment sets and when are these due and so on. So here's assignment set number 1. These are due at the end of the first week. So if it's assignment set 1, it's due at the end of the first week. What if I don't get them all done? That's okay. I don't take off for that. Get them in the next week. But don't fall too far behind, because you're going to see there are quite a few, since we don't have lectures in the course. There are some videos you'll be watching that I put up there for lectures, but you're not in class, 3 hours a week. So there are a lot more assignments in an online class than there is in a homework assignments than there is for a class that is, in class and then you have homework. So you don't want to fall too far behind. And don't take off if you don't get them in, the end of the week, but keep that as a goal, all right? So let's look at this first set, and we'll just look at this first set to give you the idea. Number 1, look over the syllabus and the session topic assignments, an overview of our textbook and the reading assignments. And then it says, record how long this takes you on your spreadsheet. Now, what's a spreadsheet about? Each of you must keep a timesheet for the course. And you're going to have a column in which you describe which set this is. Like this is set 1001, and then number 1 is 1. So it would be set 1.1, and that's what you'd be keeping track of. How long did it take you to look over the syllabus, look over all the session topics and assignments, look them over? How long did it take you to do like an overview of the textbook? Just kind of look over what the reading assignments are. What are you expected to read and so on? How long did it take you to do that? Then you put that time down in minutes. So if it took me 62 minutes, I'm going to put 62 in that column for that particular topic. And then number 2, the midterm and the course project review. What the midterm will be like. Read about the course project, the research paper. So the 2 items in here. Write down how long that took you to do that. Then number 3, hardware media technology. You will be learning about projectors, audio editing, capture. Click on the following links to watch or read the linked information. Online students record how long this takes you on your spreadsheet. So like for example, Elmo's, if I click there, it's going to give me information, either something to read about Elmo's or a video to watch about Elmo's. VJ HDMI, what's the difference? Why do I need to know that? You're going to click there and then write down how long it took you to get that down, okay? Hard drives, USB stick, apricot drive, recovery data, smartphone scanning to PDF, video adapters for tablets and laptops, and more. So use these underlying links, read about these items, watch the videos if they're videos, and then what you do, and this is how you complete the assignment, you would email me a synopsis of what you've learned from each of the links. So what is a synopsis? Well, if, like say, for example, about Elmo's, if I would look at that and in that part of my assignment, I would email the professor and say, an Elmo is this. It's used for it's a document camera. So if I don't have something digitized, the attorney doesn't have something digitized. It's a paper document. You can put that underneath the Elmo camera and show it up on the screen. So that would be a good synopsis of what an Elmo is. Okay, and that's basically an email that has a synopsis for it. You could put your synopsis of all those items for assignment number 1.3 here in one email to me. Give me a synopsis of all of those items, okay? And then number 4, your research paper, which is your course project. You click here and it would give you the review, and then you'd send me a synopsis what the research paper is going to be all about. So I know that you know what you're going to get into. Then videos, how to use Word Outline. You'd watch these videos here and then send me a link. Send me a synopsis of what you've learned from those videos about how you go about the basic reasons why you'd use these and the basic steps how to do it, okay? Then there's something about quick parts. Do that again. Watch the video, click here, tell me what quick parts are, why they're important for you to know about, and basically how you go about, setting them up, okay? And then you now each one of these, you put the time down on your spreadsheet. And then online students need to watch these videos, email me a synopsis on those. So in class students, we would actually be practicing outline view and so on. So number 7 really pertains to number 5 up here. They're kind of connected together. Sign up for Powtoons free trial. So you can sign up. They don't give your credit card information, your phone numbers or emails. You can sign up for free. And if you can't do that, if they've changed that, then you don't have to do that assignment, okay? Yes, but here's basically the sign up link here. Sign up for free trial of Prezi. Again, now what are these? Well, watch the video on how to create a Prezi presentation. You'll learn about these. And then you're going to send me the fact that you actually did go ahead and sign up for those and how long it took you and so on. And then watch this Prezi presentation about utility software and then email me what you've learned by watching it. So here's a link to a Prezi I set up about utility software. You're going to watch it, send me a synopsis of what you learned about it from that, okay? Utility software. And then watch the Powtoons video about hardware pieces and parts. You click here and then how long did it take you, and then send me a synopsis of that. So basically what it's saying here is time you spent at home on this work, on these assignments, record the time on your sheet, and the spreadsheet is due the last week of class. You don't need to send that to me every week. I don't want to see it every week, but keep track of your time accurately and the grade I send back to you. So each time you send me assignment, I'm going to grade it. I'm going to email you back a grade. You put that grade on your timesheet in a column, what grade you got. Now, the reason you're doing that is twofold. Number 1, sometimes emails don't get through to me. And if I don't give you a grade back, it's either that I didn't get the email or I got it and I neglected to grade it and send you a grade back. In either case, after you've sent the assignments, it usually just takes me maybe 1 day to grade your work that you send me. So if you don't get an email back with a grade, then email me and say, Carl, I didn't get a grade for this assignment number 1.4, whatever it would be. And so that way you can keep track of your own grades, and that's the other purpose. So you know how you're doing as the semester goes along. You don't have to ask me, oh, how am I doing, Carl? What am I getting a B or an A? You're gonna know right away where you're at in the course. Okay, so I'm not going to go through every one of these. That's something you need to do though. Is this week is to look over every one of these. Not actually go through and look at all the videos, but review each of these assignments as you go down through here. And then as you take notes, if you have a question about any of them, email me the questions and I'll try to answer them through email, or you can call me on the phone and I'll try to answer them that way. And if none of that works, then I'll set up a Zoom session with you to share my screen and go over it with you. Attendance, well, I need an email from you each week, even if you don't have any assignments done for that week. You know, something happened, you got sick, whatever, email me and let me know what happened, so I know that you're still in the class. If 2 weeks go by and I get no email from you, or phone calls, you can call me too if you think the emails aren't going through. But if I don't hear from you in 2 weeks, then you get dropped out of the course. So you want to keep in communication with me for that reason. Now the file cabinet, let me click there and bring that up. Here's files we will use in our course that you may download. It says more files are available on our Blackboard. Actually not. I've actually put all of the files you need on this website so you can download those. Like here's an example timesheet, so you can download that. Can you use Google Sheets? Yeah, you could use Google Sheets if you don't have Excel, that's fine. But basically you can look at it and view it here. It says fall syllabus, so you don't need to download. That was for the fall. I put the syllabus for you up on the semester. The paper evaluation sheet just gives you an idea how I'm going to evaluate your research paper. So take a look at that. And these are optional. If it's an optional download, don't worry about it. You don't have to install any software on your home computer, none whatsoever. It's not a requirement. This is an animation example you could look at in PowerPoint. Again, this is a Directory Lister Pro. You'll be learning about it as we go along. There's some video about it and so on. But you could download it. If you do decide to install it on your home computer, notice it says rename. After you download it, you have to rename the file .exe. Otherwise, it's not going to launch and install on your computer. This is a JPEG file that you might use in one of your assignments. And then this is an example of tutorial using Trial Director by inserting screenshots. So if you don't know how to do screenshots, this is a good example that shows you how to do it. You can download those or just view them. If you don't have PowerPoint, you can view it by clicking View. Well, let's see, I think that's, again, this is another optional download. It's a special video playing program. You're going to learn about it that is useful for paralegals to do a bunch of individual frames out of a video. Again, hashtags, optional download. You'll learn about these things, and there are optional things for you to download. Now, let me say this to you. This course website is going to remain up even after our course is over. In fact, I will maintain it after you graduate from SWIC. This website will still be up for you to use, and all these resources will be there for you. So if you get a job, when you get a job at a law firm, these are resources you might want to be able to use. When you, like some of these programs that you might find useful, like the hashtag program and so on. But before you install those on any law firm computer, you would need to go to the IT department, tell them about what you want to download and install on your computer and get permission. They usually will test these things out for you to make sure they don't interfere with anything on the law firm's computer that you're provided, okay? And the same with this is an optional download as well. You'll be learning about it. But any of these programs that you hear about, even though I don't have them marked as optional, they are optional downloads. The JPEG files I might refer to some of these in the assignments, and you come and download these and make use of them as well. This is a Missouri Business Law Journal. I wrote an article for it about digital imagery, and that's something that in one of your assignments I might ask you to be reading. But If I do, it'll be here in the file cabinet for you to go and download and read about as well. So anyway, that's what all these are. Look over these as a part of one of the assignments and see if any of these are things you might need for completing some of the assignments I give you. But it's basically a file cabinet is what I call it. And that's what that is over there. The how-to videos, again, when I give you an assignment, I might refer to these as well. Okay, so that's my basic review. Do you have any questions?
I do not.
Well, looking forward to having you on the good ship 274. And one of the important things I want to tell you is not only will this website be available to you after you graduate from SWIC, but I will be as well. One of the things that, as a technological support person, that I try to do for all our paralegals that graduate from SWIC is to be there for you. So if you get a job at a law firm and you got a question that you're asked to do something with some software, and you don't feel comfortable revealing your ignorance, about that particular process, call me. I'm not your supervisor at work, and I might be able to help you get out of a situation. And I've done that with a lot of our paralegals. You're fresh, you get into a situation where you're not sure how to use a particular program, and you wonder about it. Give me a call. You're going to have my phone number and my email. That's SWIC, and you can email me, and I could help you out there. Or you can give me a call. So I just want you to know that. And then I also write, do a good job in the course, because I like to write good letters of recommendation for you about, I say, Ellen, Willis, Amber, my colleague, these are students that really know their stuff. They know how to use hashtags. They know how to use, any of the software. Trial director, they've been in this course and they've done a good job with all their work on these topics. And so I can write a nice letter of recommendation to you and fill it up with all the juicy stuff you learned. Now, the other thing I want you to do is keep this in mind. When you go in for a job interview as a paralegal, what you should have with you when you go in is one of these. This is a USB stick, right? You can get these you can get a 4 gig one for, I don't know, $5, $10. Have one of these with you. What do you have on it? You have on it your research papers that you've done for this course. You have on it any of the PowerPoints of how to do things, like about trial director, the PowerPoints you made about how you use trial director. Put your PowerPoint on here that shows them not only do you know how to use that particular program, but you can teach it. You got a PowerPoint that could teach that, okay? You put all your good juicy stuff on there from this course and from other courses that you have had at SWIC as well. And then during the interview, you're talking to the person that interviews you, and at the end of the interview, you say, oh, and by the way, here is a USB stick. You can keep it. It's a keeper for you. It's got my PowerPoints and my research papers and things I've done at SWIC that I think are really important for you to know about. And you give it to them. And I'll tell you, I've had a number of students tell me that they got hired, and the person that hired them said, what helped you a lot was giving me that good material that you did. That helped me really get a closer look at, your capabilities. So in areas that I wasn't even aware about. So keep that in mind as a way of, and the other reason to keep it on a USB stick as you go along, not just save it on your hard drive, not just put it up on the web, but you got a backup copy, right, of all your good stuff in case something goes down. I had one student that did a lot of work in the first 2 weeks of class in assignments and saved it on her hard drive. And then, but didn't email me them because she was saving up, just going to send them to me. The hard drive crashed. It wouldn't boot up in her laptop anymore. And she had done all that work and hadn't backed it up. Don't do that. make sure you have a good backup on some external media from your computer hard drive. I have been to Murphy's School of Law, and that means whenever something can go wrong, it will go wrong at the worst possible moment. And as paralegals, you especially need to let people know you've been to that school of law by making good backup copies of all your work at your law firm, as well as for your classwork here. Now, that student that had that hard drive go down took this course, and she was aware, after having looked at the syllabus and all the assignments, she was aware of one of the assignments, how to recover data off of a hard drive that crashes. She didn't know how to do it, but she knew, because she had reviewed the syllabus, that that was something that maybe we could do. And so she took the hard drive out of her computer. She put it on an external device, plugged it into the computer once it got fixed up, and she had a new hard drive in her computer. She plugged it in, and she was able to get her homework assignments off of that hard drive. Even though it had failed to boot, she was still able to get the data off it through the procedure that you're going to be learning about in this course. But you don't want to have to do that, okay? So keep that in mind. Well, I think I've shot my wad, as they say, and I thank you all for getting on the good ship 274. Don't be strangers. Keep in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.